All right, you guys want to get started? Hello.
Good morning, Giovanni.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for logging in today. Hey, Sonia, how are you? So for those who don't know me, my name is Giovanni Nicosia. I'm a real estate attorney. I've been an attorney in South Florida for 25 years, and I own a title company called Supreme Title and Escrow. And what I've been doing is actually since October 1st, we've been trying to provide about three trainings for realtors a week. So every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Today we're doing this class on the ChatGPT. Thursday, I'm doing a class on 1031 exchanges. Saturday, we're doing a short sale class. Tuesday, we're doing like a top producer mastermind with Megan Romine from Douglas Elliman. Like last year, she closed over 50 million. We're doing a FERPTA class this month, a social media class. So just trying to provide a lot of good, material to help you and, educate you and help you with your business. Um, Also, another thing too is next Tuesday, I'm doing this thing and we're doing a giveaway, a client appreciation pies and Prosecco giveaway. If you're interested, just shoot me an email to RSVP. So my office is like State Road 84 and 95. Stop by the office, pick up your pies, pick up your Prosecco. And, if we haven't met before, of course, meet. And what else? And on Wednesday, I'm doing a $1,000 cash raffle. Basically to be eligible. So basically, I provided this realtor training program. It's on my website. It's called asktherealestateattorney.com. Asktherealestateattorney.com. If you go on there and you join the program, it is $9.99 a month, but you get the first month free if you use the code LAW. And basically, once you join, you will be eligible for this month's raffle. My plan is to do a $1,000 raffle each month. But as part of that, once again, you get access to all the classes, all the videos online, PowerPoints, other information. So yeah, please, join. So once again, asktherealestateattorney.com. And today we have Jennifer McAlpine. And she's going to be speaking on the ChatGPT. Truthfully, I don't know much about it, so that's why this class actually interests me, because I want to learn as much as possible about it, because everyone's talking about this stuff. So Jennifer, please introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself and what you do and how you can help the
Hi.
realtors.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, my name is Jennifer, and we're going to be talking about AI and specifically the AI revolution today. And just to kind of tell you a little bit about myself, I even have a little portion of my deck about that, but trust me, I won't be talking about myself all day because nobody wants to hear about that. But just to give you a little bit of background, my name is Jennifer McAlpine. I'm a marketing technology director. I work with WFG, which is one of the title underwriters. And I know probably Miss Jamie Johns is on this call too.
Hi,
She's
guys. Yes.
hi for WFG. And I work alongside her and I provide classes to real estate agents as well, one of them being ChatGPT. And in my background, I've been here for about a year and a half, and I work under a sister company called My Home that works in coordination with WFG. And I've been here for about a year and a half. But before that, I actually worked for Compass Real Estate out of the Northern California division and was there for almost 4 years. And I left as their head of marketing, which encompassed about 3,000 agents and about 50 employees. I also started within real estate working for a smaller boutique luxury brokerage in Silicon Valley called Alon Pinnell. They had been around for 25 plus years, very well respected. They were very small in size, but not in volume at all. And then before that, I actually spent most of my career in e-commerce. And if you like golf or follow golf at all, I worked for Pebble Beach Company and headed their e-commerce division for about 5 years. So it gives you just a little bit about my background. But let's dive into this because I think everybody is kind of wanting to know a little bit more information. And as we go through this, I'll just say a little bit as well, is that I'm going to take you through kind of a few different things with the presentation. And at the end, I'm going to go live into ChatGPT. And I'm going to use some real life scenarios that you would be using on an everyday basis. But I kind of want to have an introduction to ChatGPT and AI as well, because with these classes, I usually get a mix of of people coming in. I usually get the, hey, I'm already using ChatGPT, right? I already use it for my listing descriptions. Fantastic. I'll throw in a few little things in here too that'll give you some tidbits and updates. And then I have also people that are kind of on the fence, I'm not really sure if I'm into it or not really sure how I feel. And then I definitely get people, I'm like, nope, I'm afraid of AI. I don't want the bots in my house, all those fun things. So we're going to walk through those things as well. But to get started, I like to kind of take a look at, kind of how you're feeling about it, just kind of what I was saying. And like I said, I have those comfort levels that get mixed. And how I kind of look at that, though, is I like to take a look at a few different studies. And according to consumer studies, people want to work with people-powered businesses, right? This is what real estate is, too. It's truly people-powered. And when they can relate to the human behind the service and the products, they're more inclined to be loyal and to share with their community. So in fact, due to the pandemic, the importance of that community and humanity are at a premium, and people still really want that connection. So you're saying, how does AI work in this, right? But today, I'd like to have a conversation around this new portion of tech. Will it solve two of your entrepreneur pain points and put more time back into your day while helping you write copy and content? So that's a big point of it. So what are these pain points? How can you effectively spend time nurturing and growing those relationships with people who ultimately power your business? Well, and simultaneously ensuring that the communication you're putting out and whatever content you're putting out is attracting your ideal audience rather than repelling it, right? Because nobody wants that, obviously. So creating copy is a part of people power businesses' daily activities. Of course, that's a part of your daily activities, whether it be email responses, email marketing. We have postcards, post videos, reels, presentations, proposals, right? I mean, it can go on and on and on. So how can ChatGPT help you in your daily activities, ultimately streamline your processes and give you more time back into your day? Because ultimately, I mean, who doesn't really want to do that? When I worked with agents directly quite heavily, the comment I would regularly get is, I need to be back in front of my clients. Absolutely. And that's why I like ChatGPT, is kind of helps you propel that as well. It gets you through those tough things that we all struggle with. And so let's see, I think we have a question. Let me just get in there. Okay. Sorry, I like to pay attention to the chat. So why? So like I said, we want to be able to work with people-powered businesses. And, in fact, it's so important. And I just like to reiterate this point too, is when consumers can relate to the human behind the business, they are more inclined to be loyal and within their community. And like I said, people really want that connection. So let's talk about that component a little bit more. So pre-pandemic, we were in social settings on the daily interacting with colleagues and families and people within our community. But during the pandemic, we turned to like search engines, right, to answer and ask some of those same questions because we didn't have that one-on-one quality time. And we found a lot of searches like, is she sharing the screen? Yes, you should be able to see my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah, okay, perfect. Sometimes if you're working on two screens or a little screen, it can get lost. I know that. So they would go to these components on Google and things like that. Who is the best real estate agent, right? And this search went through the roof. Reviews were intersected with the referral economy and isn't really showing signs of reversing to the pre-pandemic times. And so with that, now, would you be open to a technology that kind of does both? It saves you time while helping you craft communication as well. So with that, let's start with the more time component. You likely feeling like me, time is one of your most precious commodities. And I like to think of time as a commodity as well, right? It does take away. Yes, I'm sharing a screen. So everybody should be able to see my screen.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, great. No, I just had a couple comments in the chat.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know why they can't see it because I see it perfect.
Okay, thank you, Giovanni. All right. And if anything, this is being recorded as well. and we'll be able to send out the deck too. So going back to that time, commodity, it's a precious commodity, right? And it seems to be filled with tasks on your to-do list and activities that may or not be serving the best purpose, right? And thinking of that time as a commodity, we want to use it as efficiently as possible. And, we want to think about solutions that have been employing you to streamline and the time spent, and it might be tapped out during your day, right? So with that, what would you do more with that time, right? I bet you have a list. I always have a list. But ultimately, I know a lot of you would probably be have that face-to-face time with your clients and your current and your future clients as well. So also, in our careers, a large portion of us have already experienced what I call 3 time-saving revolutions or time scaling revolutions. And at the time, it seemed a bit foreign and maybe even ridiculous, but it truly has been a game changer. So let's take a look at that in just a little bit. So one, if some of you remember the WWW concept and first learning about that, right? Did you embrace it right away? Or were you like, I'm kind of on the fence, not so sure. I think I want to stay with my encyclopedias that I've invested so much money in, right? I want to keep looking up on that. But then it came to the point where it got more and more, and there's different things that were coming out. And it was one of those things where, hey, I need to probably take a look at this, right? So the next one is that cell phone revolution. So if you think about that time, what changed in your life when you acquired your first smartphone? So for me, I had my BlackBerry and I was not going anywhere without it. I was not going to leave it, right? I was stuck in BlackBerry mode. Well, I came to a point where I moved and my service provider wouldn't support it where I moved. So ultimately, I was kind of forced into a situation to get an iPhone. And of course, things changed from there. And I couldn't believe it. And I said, oh my gosh, it's like carrying around a little small computer. So going into that third revolution is, what was your initial reaction to the crazy idea of friends, likes, followers, and on social media, right? I think everybody was kind of iffy, or a lot of people were iffy at the time, but there were some components of that, even in the early days, that were quite attractive. For example, my kids were very small at this time. I was living in Georgia. My family was 3,000 miles away and a lot of my close friends. So what I did is, instead of emailing photos of my kids and making updates to multiple people, I asked quite a few people to join this thing called Facebook. And so I could share pictures of my kids and give updates to everybody at one time. So you kind of think of it that way, it's a definite time-saving revolution as well. And for the most part, it's been pretty successful for the most part. But with that being said, all 3 of those advancements change the way we spend our time, we scale our personal and humanity connection, and ultimately with those people that power our business, right? The previous 3 time-saving revolutions have advanced our abilities to engage with our ideal audiences most times, right? So I always like to point that out as well. So with that, the 4th tech revolution that just reached the masses will help you spend more time on those right activities, scale yourself and expand your reach, and help you connect in a more meaningful way. So you've likely seen something maybe on social media, heard about it from a colleague, or seen it in the news that was pushed that could have been pushed to you through AI, but ultimately it's the tool that has hit mainstream called ChatGPT. So let's take a look at that. So on November 30th, 2022, OpenAI hit our timelines with what we call ChatGPT. Even though AI has been a part of our everyday lives, for years, and usually playing in the background, it makes more sense as a tech tool for just about anyone with a business. So here's a little bit about and some stats that show us just how ChatGPT kind of stacks up to its predecessors. So let's take a look at that. And then also, what is ChatGPT? So what is it? It is a natural processing technology language that enables machines to understand and generate human-like conversations. So I always like to back up and just point that out. It's human-like, right? As you'll see as we go on, this is really directed and empowered by you, the expert. And so you're the one who's really driving that and how you get it to respond. And we'll talk more about that as well. But ultimately, it works off language patterns. It understands the patterns in language and uses them to write in a natural style according to the voice you ask it to be written in. So ChatGPT works off prompts, and it's all prompt based. And I'll go into that more as well and give you some real life examples. But ultimately, here's some of those stats that kind of show you how it stacks up. So let's take a look at the 1 million users registered mark. So if we're looking at that, WhatsApp took 2 years to get to that point. Instagram took 2 years. Snapchat took 1 year to get to that 1 million users registered mark. And then Facebook took 10 months. Pinterest took 4 months, and ChatGPT took 5 days. So that's huge, right? I mean, that's really significant. Obviously, this was very popular. So let's take a look at this a little bit closer and say, the AI revolution in you, and what does that look like? So we're back to the conversation around how AI, specifically ChatGPT, can give you more time back into your day to spend with the people who ultimately power that business, your clients, your sphere, your vendor partners, your future clients. And, it kind of goes back to the comment I made earlier of definitely getting you out and selling and talking directly in person to, those clients and future clients as well. Well, this is ChatGPT. And kind of, if you think about it, making it in terms of an AI marketing intern. So when I put this together, I kind of thought about different ideas of how, a real estate agent would and could use this in helping them as a kind of AI marketing intern. And so the concept is kind of like, oh, I could hire this intern to help me with all the things that I need. So ultimately, if you think about it this way, it has been trained to understand those natural language patterns and has consumed all that has been published up in the internet until 2022. This recently changed because it used to be up until 2021. As you can see, it's continually growing and adding to itself as well. So I would just note that because I take the example of, I've had people say, hey, I want to write a newsletter that would incorporate all the data, right? Maybe it's a market update that you want to do. Well, you can definitely use ChatGPT to create that email and use it maybe as a template and provide that outline for your content. But when you want to get into specific numbers that are very recent, like maybe in the last month, the last quarter, anytime within this last year, you're going to want to definitely input that information yourself and not rely on ChatGPT because it's just not up to date at that point. So with that said, did you get a spark of an idea already? And maybe, keeping in mind that the content, especially clear and compelling content, is vital to the people who power your business. So that right copy or content really helps you clearly communicate to your audience. And ultimately, if anybody has had writer's block, and let's face it, most of us have, that can suck the time out of your day and make it a lot easier. So those who are natural writers, I commend you. Even at 18 years of marketing experience, it's something that I still have to sit down and take time to do and work through. I did not get that natural ability like my cousin has, who's a writer. But for you, this will be more of a refinement to create those subject lines, titles, and you really use it as a brainstorming tool and outlines to further propel what you're already doing. But for the 99% of us who, you don't have that ability, it's going to help level that playing field a little bit in writing and widen the gap. So it condenses the amount of time we are spending on these tasks, and it helps us get to where we really want to be. And where is that? So I like to throw in this 3C motto, right? With clarity comes confidence, with confidence comes commission checks. So we all like that. When you have an audience that is clear about your message and your intent, they are more likely to hire you as well. You're ultimately making it easy for them to do business with you. So here's a few use cases that I've put together for hiring chat as your marketing aid. And we'll take a look at these. And then after this, I'm going to go ahead and switch out my screen and then pop into ChatGPT Live as well. And I will show you some real life examples too. So with that, of course, creating content, right? And engaging that potential and existing audiences, compelling what we call to actions for all those marketing moments, those listing presentations, postcards, even if you want to put together door knocking or door knockers, like what is the content and the script that you can put on there? You can even have ChatGPT, if you're going to go and knock on somebody's door, help you with the script of what you're actually going to say. If you're one of those people that, hey, which is me, like cold calling terrifies me, right? So if you're one of those people, you could use ChatGPT to help you get over that hump and help you write a script about, hey, when this person picks up the phone, what am I going to say? And usually when you're more prepared in those instances, it comes across as more confident as well. So really showcasing those services and expertise as the local authority in your industry in a way that attracts your ideal audience rather than repelling them, because like I said, we definitely don't want that, both online and offline. So these components that you can use digitally, and like I said, those other areas that can help you, creating scripts or different things that can help you out and about as well. And keep in mind that your messaging sets the bar for how your audience ultimately perceives you, remembers you, or discounts and forgets you. So with that, and then also brainstorming, right? Brainstorming is really everything. And you can do this from all types of topics for your content to keywords. And like I said, those scripts, those birthday wishes, maybe, you made a goal for yourself to say, hey, I want to write 5 to 10 cards per week to be able to go out. And you're sitting there with your beautiful cards that you purchase and you're saying, I have absolutely no idea what to put on here. ChatGPT can help you with that. And you can take it from sitting there for 4 hours to getting accomplished in 10 minutes. So those are some other ideas as well. So with that, you can see kind of your business plan for the going into 2024 and what you've put there. Like I said, with maybe it's those cards or anything like that. Maybe it's you've committed to doing four home buyer presentations a month. Did you add maybe a monthly newsletter to your sphere that you want to put out also once a month? And rather than using maybe like a bot or canned email, you can create something that showcases your expertise, that showcases you, and speak directly to your client as well, all with ChatGPT. So like I said, as I mentioned before, it really works off what we call a prompt-based formula. And so talking a little bit more about that technical side, it uses prompts, and those are vital to getting out of chat what you want. The better you refine your prompts, the better the outcomes. So you'll see when I go into this, I usually start a little bit broader, and then I put in more prompts and refine it a little bit more. And then you get to where you want to be. You can tell chat who you are, who your audience is, and what your combination of tone of voice that you want to speak in, and refine. So even if you have a Southern accent, you can say, hey, put this together with a Southern accent. If you're very professional and you really want that to come across, or you're a little bit more laid back and, people really know that about you, that's something that you can also put in as well. And will give you that content and that tone. So it'll be more aligned with who you are as well. So with that, let's take a look at some real life examples. I'm just going to stop sharing for just a quick moment here. And I am going to get out of here. And we are going to open this up. Bear with me for one quick second. Let's see. I try and make it a little bit bigger because
good.
I have two screens. Let's see, I'll share my screen again. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I see. I think, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Can everybody see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so this is ChatGPT. I'm going to try and see if I can make it a little bit bigger here. Okay, so there's two versions. One is the ChatGPT 4. This is the paid version. I work primarily in the paid version just because honestly, I use it almost every day. ChatGPT 3.5 is the free version. If it's something that you're just looking to get into, try out, I just definitely recommend creating a free account, getting in there and trying it out.
How much is the paid version?
It's about $20 a month. The biggest difference that I see is you get access to more like beta features. And then when you go to refine it, I tend to see you don't have to refine it as much. So in the 3.5, you just have to go through a little bit more refinement to get you where you want to go. The speed is consistent throughout both. Now, I would say this just from my prior life in tech is that if something goes down, they're probably going to give it to the paid version first rather than the free version, just as an FYI. And then also you have the ability to have it on your browser like I'm showing now, but there's also an app. And I love the app because if I'm out and about, if I'm in another room of my house and I don't want to get up and go down the stairs or up the stairs to go find my computer, you can take your app out and, use it where you actually left off. And it'll show what you did on the app compared to what you did on the browser as well. And this is great too. So if you're out and about and you get a point where you're in a coffee shop and you want to pull your phone out, you can do that too. So with that, you can see here on the left-hand side that they have different chats. So every time you have a chat, it automatically saves it. And you can see here that these are some of my previous chats that I've had in the past. So what's great about that is that if you click into it, and let's say I did something 30 days ago, I can go back and start exactly where I left off, and chat will remember everything about it.
Someone's making on the chat.
So it's, what did you say?
Gio, you are off mute.
Yeah. So with that, it's helpful for that because if you have to leave, something comes up, then, you can do that as well. So within ChatGPT 4, they're always coming out with new features. They just came out with this. It's called Explore. And what this does is it gives you different ways to get to the things that they're producing recently quickly, right? So I'm just going to go through this because I don't want to create something where it's like feeling of overwhelm, but I just want to create a point of reference is that, so Dolly turns your imagination into imagery. So if you wanted to direct ChatGPT, their Dolly version, to create something, and it'll actually produce an image. So if you want to say, for example, hey, produce a home by the lake on the sunset, you could do that and it'll produce an image. And I'll usually give you like 4 for you to choose from. Now, this is still being refined. So if you get something that's super like computery, that's not completely out of the norm. Then you can see there's quite a few other things in here that they keep adding in. If you even wanted to create some coloring books, you could do that. If you wanted some help with math to help your kids, you could do that too. So there's quite a few different things. And if you have, a Gen Zer in your house, you have no idea what they're talking about, you can go here and do translation. So going back over here, though, I want to hop back into ChatGPT 4. This is where we start. And so what I'm going to do is just point out one other quick feature is that, let's see, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. And, let's see, they took that off. ChatGPT, and you're going to go over to, oh, they took it off. Okay. Oh, custom instructions. Here you go. So custom instructions. So how this works basically is that you can say, hey, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? So what that does is you can say, go in there and say, hey, I give a description about you, right? Like maybe I have 10 years of real estate experience. I'm a realtor in St. Petersburg, Florida. I work with, this is just me, I'm using an example. I work within the Distant Heights area. Some of my priorities are I have excellent customer service. I have great follow through. I've done X amount of business, and then maybe qualifying things that are unique to you. And what that'll do is you put that in there. It has a limit of 1,500 content amount. And then you hit enable for new chats and then hit save. And then when you are prompting ChatGPT, it'll take all of that information into consideration and apply it to everything it outputs for you, right? So I can show you another way to do this as well that you don't, if you don't want to have this, because
Real
if you
quick
don't,
question, Jennifer.
yes,
On the column where it says, how would you like GPT to respond? Is that, do you put like text or voice, or is that what you're choosing?
it's more tone. So you want to let it know what kind of tone you want it to speak in. So maybe it's like how I say,
So tell it, I want you to yell it at.
you can
Please
say
talk
that.
softly.
It's going to have a lot of exclamation points. But ultimately, if it's something like you have a friendly tone, or I have a little bit more laid back, or it's professional yet friendly, something like that. Or if you're from the Midwest and you're like, I have, speak as if I'm from the Midwest, something like that, you could even do that. Now, technically, you could say it to, write a rap like Eminem, but, I wouldn't recommend it either. So with that, you just want to remember, if you're going to use this feature, that you want to enable it for new chats. But if you don't, like if you're working on something that's not real estate related for yourself, you want to just, hit that and make sure it's turned off so it doesn't keep applying it to everything that you're using. So just as a quick note, and that's over here, and you click on your name and you go to custom instructions. And this is in the paid version. But let's go in and let's do a few examples. I'm just going to go back up here and because I want you to see how it saves it as we go as well. So I'm going to go in here and I get a lot of agents saying, hey, I want to know how to write a listing description, right? So I'm going to start off broad and just say, see here, write a listing description. Now, as we go to it, it does not have like an autocorrect for spell, but even if you misspell, it'll still take it, right? I do have something on here that's just, it's Grammarly that I use on all my browsers. So that's what you see there. It won't necessarily be on your ChatGPT. So write a listing description for a 3-bedroom, let's see here, 2-bath home with a 2-car garage in St. Petersburg with newly remodeled kitchen and bathrooms. There is a large enclosed yard, and it is on a quiet street. So even if you wanted to just list out features, you don't even have to write sentences. You can start it in a Word doc if you wanted to. And as you're out, or even like in your notes section, as you're at the house, just make an entire list of the things that you want to be able to include. You can copy and paste that and put it in there. Now, I've also had the question, hey, can I just take the address and pop it into ChatGPT and it'll give me the information? So technically, yes, you can do that. But the issue is because it's not up to date within the last year, and you might get inconsistencies from the things it's picking up. You may not get completely correct information. So with this, you're going to make sure that you have the most up-to-date information, and you're going to have correct information as well. So let's see here. So that's what I would just recommend. And then what I usually recommend on this too is any kind of features that are a call out, like if it's on the water or something like that. This one is it is a no flood zone. So let's see what it comes up with that. So I just put that in, I hit the button, and it's going to start producing. So today, actually, this is slower than normal, but usually it just darts out information really quickly. So this has charming 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in St. Petersburg with modern upgrades. Welcome to this beautifully updated 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in serene neighborhood of St. Petersburg, nestled on a tranquil street. This property stands out with its inviting curb appeal and a spacious enclosed yard, perfect for privacy and outdoor enjoyment. Now, with that being said, always make sure this is correct, right? If it is not tranquil, don't put that. You could even direct it to say, hey, remove the tranquil information. Can you add in other information as well? You can even direct it to say, create a listing that invites people to come to an open house. So if you're trying to promote an open house and not necessarily just do the listing description, you can create it around that as well. So it goes over key features, newly remodeled kitchen and bathroom, spacious bedrooms, all this information. This property is a perfect blend of comfort, style, and practicality, making it an ideal choice for families or anyone looking for a serene retreat and desirable area. Don't miss the opportunity to make you your new home. So I would also say this when doing listing descriptions is that you're the expert in the local laws, because it's obviously very specific sometimes to your city and county. And so it's going to rely on you. You're going to want to work through these specifically and make sure that they're all correct before you put it on anything as well. So let's say you're going to go back up here and say, I don't really like this title, right? So what you can also do is say, rewrite the title so it is more captivating and people will want to come and see it. So I just pushed that in. Let's see. Stunningly upgraded 3-bedroom, 2-bath St. Petersburg gem with lush private yard and modern amenities. So a little bit better, right? So let's go with that. And let's take that information. Let's say the next thing that we want to be able to do is we want to send an email out to all of our people within our database because we're going to have an open house. So let's work off the information that we already have. And utilizing that, you can create a new chat if you want, but you can use this one as well. And so let's say, can you write an email featuring the home above for a upcoming open house? I want to add in information about the time and a little bit about me, the realtor. So with that, let's say, okay, make the email with a call to action that will get people to show up to the open house and let them, let's see. And then you can just list out information about yourself as well. So I'm going to put in there, I am a real estate. Now, if you filled out that other information that we were talking about, it's automatically going to add that in there for the preferences. But if you didn't, you can just add that information in there. So I am a real estate agent with 10 years of experience and an expert in the St. Petersburg market. I have extensive sales experience and let's say excellent customer service. Let's see here. The open house time, you can just put that in there. Let's just make it up. So let's say it's tomorrow. I wouldn't recommend doing that. We want to have at least a couple weeks out or at least a week out. But let's see here, November 15th at 11 a.m. And so let's hit that. and it'll pop out. So can you write an email featuring the home above or upcoming open house? I want to add in information about the time and a little bit about me, the realtor. Make the email with a call to action that will get people to show up to the open house. I am the real estate agent with 10 years of experience and an expert in the St. Petersburg market. I have extensive sales experience and excellent customer service. Let's see here. The open house is November 15th at 11 a.m. So it goes through and it writes the email for you. So exclusive invitation, discover your home, your dream home in St. Petersburg open house, November 15th at 11 a.m. And then it says, dear recipient's name. So maybe you have something within your CRM that'll automatically add their name in there. If you don't, you can, just make it generalized. And it goes through, I hope this email finds you well. I'm excited to extend a special invitation to an exclusive open house event for property that truly defines elegance and comfort. Join us on November 15th at 11 a.m. to explore stunningly upgraded 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the heart of St. Petersburg. And it goes through to add in a little bit more information. Your dream home awaits, talks about that, why you shouldn't miss this. And I love this because I said, create a call to action. And so they're making it like chat is making it kind of an exclusive event. So it creates that air of you want to take action as soon as possible. And it gives an exclusivity to it as well. So it draws people in. So newly remodeled spaces, spacious living, prime location. Meet your realtor. As your host, I bring a decade of experience, expertise in real estate, and a deep understanding of the St. Petersburg market. And it talks a little bit more about that. Let's connect, RSVP today. So if you want them to sign up in any way, you just insert that information. And then it gives, with warm regards, all your information. P.S. Remember, the journey to finding your dream starts with a single step. Join us on November 15th and take that step. So that's your final call to action in that email. So I like it. You could also, if you're not happy with the title or anything like that, you can redo it. If you don't like the tone, and you can say, rewrite and make it a more friendly tone. And then if you want to change the title or anything like that, you can do that as well. So I just hit enter, and then let's scroll down. And so rewrite and make it a more friendly tone, right? So join us for a cozy open house in St. Petersburg, November 15th at 11 a.m. So it rewrites it within that tone that you're directing it in. So it really works off your direction. And that's why I kind of like the concept of thinking of it in a way it's almost like your marketing intern, right? Because you are still part of that equation. Why swing by? Fresh and modern updates, your own peaceful retreat, safe and sound. And then it talks about, you can go in about me, your friendly neighborhood realtor. And again, if you don't like any of these components, you can always change them and amend them and move on too. So with that, you can also say, well, I want to be able to advertise this home, right? And at a certain point, I would recommend putting in the address just because you don't have to keep adding it in. So let's say I want to put together a marketing plan, right? So it'll actually help you with that. I'm going to do this and then one more other thing as well. And then just to go through this, RSVP, let me know you're coming. And then find the perfect home is a journey, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. See you on the 15th. So you can say, provide a marketing plan to sell this home. Include, let's just say, digital and, let's see, spell check. Let's see here. Digital and non-digital components. I want to sell this home in a short amount of time, so I would like something aggressive. So let's see what it puts out. And provide a marketing plan to sell this home, include digital and non-digital components. I want to sell this home in a short amount of time, so I like something aggressive. So it goes through this to sell your St. Peter's home quickly and dynamically, a multifaceted marketing plan that leverages both digital and traditional methods is essential. Here's an aggressive strategy to ensure maximum exposure and attract potential buyers. So we have professional website listing, social media marketing, email marketing, yes. And so what you can also do with these is if you don't like something, you can say, hey, take this out, add maybe something like this in. If you want to go more and deep dive, because it's going to start broader and say, hey, develop an email marketing cadence for this home specifically. And you can draw out like, let's see here, what did I say? Number 3. Can you elaborate on number 3? Email marketing. Can you put together a targeted email campaign that I can send out to my existing database that will have call to actions and include things to where, you can just draw in those directions for it. And then it talks about online real estate platforms, SEO and content marketing, Google Ads and retargeting. And it also talks about the non-digital components. So you have the print advertising, direct mail campaign, open houses. Now, if you're like, okay, I know I need to do a digital ad, how do I put that together? You can ask it to write a digital ad specifically for this, and it'll usually direct you to the actual content, but it'll also say what type of picture to put in there also. And it'll say, like, put this type of picture in there. Maybe you want to put more than one, that sort of thing as well. So it'll give you additional information, additional strategies, pricing strategy, staging, feedback and adjustments. And then it talks about the monitoring and adjustments as well. So I'm just going to show one other example because it helps with kind of like that non-digital component. I talked a little bit about maybe using something to like cold call. And so let's just keep working off of this one and say, I would like to call prospective buyers. Can you tell me how to talk to these potential customers with a script or cold calling for this listing? Now, you could also do the same thing for, reaching out to potential people for sellers, right? And you just make that direction a little bit different as well. So I would like to call prospective buyers. Can you tell me how to talk to these potential customers with a script for cold calling for this listing? So like I said, it's usually very fast. So that's why I always say live. Absolutely, having a well-crafted script for cold calling prospective buyers can make a significant difference. Here's a suggested script tailored for the St. Petersburg home listing. Introduction, reading and identification. So good morning, afternoon. Is this such and such? My name is Jennifer. I'm a real estate agent. How are you doing today? And it goes through the different stages, and that's what it's starting to outline, so that permission and continue. Do you have a moment to talk? I promise to keep it brief. And then you talk about the property, and then it kind of goes into that. And if you're saying, okay, this is way too long, right? I want something that's shorter and to the point, then you can definitely direct it to do so. If you know that you're not as, you're definitely more of that neighborly person that comes in and just starts having a conversation, you can also direct it that way as well. So that kind of gives you an idea, and it talks about engaging the prospect. Does this sound like something you'd be interested in? Overcoming objections. If they seem to hesitate, I understand. May I ask what specific features you're looking for in a home? This will help me find the right perfect match for you. An invitation to view the property, and then closing the call as well. And it circles back. So with that, it gives you kind of a feel for how to use this as well. And this is what I would say. If it's something that you have not used yet, definitely just make a free account. Start using it. You're not going to break it, I promise. And different things that come up, even for brainstorming. It's like, hey, I want to be able to do this, or I need some help with my brand, or I want to put out a postcard, but I'm not really sure what to write on it. You could do that as well. So with that too, is there any questions? I can definitely ask me now. You can put it in the chat, whatever you prefer. And as a note to Giovanni, I gave him a Chat GPT. It's like a little book that comes along with it, and there's different prompts in there that will help you with your business as well. And it's a great thing that if you're just getting to know ChatGPT, it kind of guides you along in that process, and it's specifically for real estate agents. And he'll also send out the deck that I'm presenting from as well.
Yeah, just email me. Like I said, I'll just put my email in the chat again, Giovanni at Supreme Closings. But I have a question. You can't email through this. Can you email through this? Like,
no, it's not like a CRM.
no, it sounds like, okay.
So, but if you are working on a chat like this, like what we were doing, and if you wanted to share with somebody on your team or anything like that, you can just hit this button over here. And then you can copy the link and then you can send it to anybody. Now, for them to bring it up in chat, they'll have to have a ChatGPT account, but then this will populate within their account just like these, so they can start working directly off what you both were working on before, if you want to share it with somebody, so they can have all that information as well. All right, no questions?
And how's the spelling like? Is it usually it's like really good with like, because like I guess me when I type stuff, I do make a lot of typos. Is it really good with the spelling?
It's, for the most part, yeah, it's really good. If it's like a really bad misspelling, I would probably try and fix it. But for the most part, it really does understand, especially like common little errors, especially on the when you're typing on the keyboard. Like if you have a letter that's really close to the one that you meant, I've noticed that it's really not a big deal. It knows what it knows what you mean.
Someone asked, do you have any CRM you recommend that works well with ChatGPT?
You can use any CRM that you want. Ultimately, is that ChatGPT, it's a separate entity. So basically, you're just going to be, if you're using it for email or anything like that, or like texting, you're just going to copy and paste it in there. So you can, if you have one that you already like, you can go ahead and use that. Do you need version 4 to set up tone and conversing? No. So if you want to say, hey, I want it to be given to me in this type of tone, you do not need 4. All of that will work in the 3.5.
I have a quick question, Jennifer. It's Jamie. You had mentioned that you use this throughout the day, from your cell phone, like just kind of randomly throughout the day. What is it that you're using it on? I know obviously, business, but I mean, are you using it on other things? What is it that you find yourself using this on the most?
So what I use it for is, because I put together classes, I know, like, maybe let's say if I want to put together a class and I have an idea for it, I use a lot of it for brainstorming. So great question, Jamie. I use a lot of it for brainstorming to work out my ideas. So, and because I'm in marketing, I'm like, okay, I want to do this. How do I get there? You know what I mean? And so with that, it really kind of helps. It's almost like a whiteboard in real time, if that makes sense. I have used it to help my son on his math, because I have not been in Algebra 2 for 20 years. So with that, it does help with that because it'll explain it. The other things I use it for is different ideas that I want to come up with. If I want to put together a video email and kind of think about a title that will get people to open it up, because it really works off that information. ChatGPT already has it all. If I'm going to be talking to some of my clients, I put together information like, okay, I want to announce these things. How can I put the email together to be able to have them easily read it and open it up? And so it'll tell me that. And then also with texts, I'll put together different text scripts and send it out as well. So it's a variety of different things. A lot of it, though, for me is brainstorming and working things out of different ideas I have.
Yeah, and I think that's really a really good point is to, we should definitely use this for a variety of things to help us get more proficient. I mean, I think anytime anything like this comes around, like when we all got iPhones, you have to use it consistently in order for, your brain to start kind of thinking, oh yeah, I need to use this tool for that. So I think just not using it just to write your listing descriptions, because we're not all Pulitzer Prize winning writers, but using it for all sorts of things, just really throwing in questions and like asking questions to it and asking it to help you with things, I think will help everyone gain a lot more proficiency. So
there's actually, like, just saw, like, Monica asked, does it help for students preparing for the SAT?
I
was actually going to ask that. Like, I know kids have to write, college, essays when they're applying. Are kids using that, I wonder?
Some of them are. I know they are, but this is what I would say. I would absolutely not use it for college applications because they have systems where they can run it through and they can tell if it's written by AI.
Yeah, and my son literally just did that. He didn't do it, but he was doing applications and doing essays, and it very clearly states within his application that under no circumstances, because they do actually have a way to track it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So with SAT, you might be able to like vocabulary, like to help you out, but that's probably the extent of it. Because you just want to be really careful with that as well. When this first came out, I'm a mom, Jamie's a mom. And so it's like, I instantly thought my kids better not get this, but luckily the teachers are very up to date on it that I work with. And a lot of the teachers that my kids have been working with is they talk about it in class and they talk about it like where it's useful. So they're saying not to absolutely use it, but to use it to where it's going to help you, not be in replacement of you actually writing and thinking, right? So it's supposed to be like same with that intern time concept. You don't want it to replace it because it's just not going to be the same. So hopefully that helps. All right. Well,
all right, then can it
yes.
Can it be used for search engine optimization as well? Like, is it help in search engine optimization as well or not?
Yep. So if you have some SEO questions for your website, if you want to use it for that, you can use it. Hey, describe the information on your website for meta tags and things like that. You can use it for that. This is what I would say. I haven't tried it within the past few weeks, but before you could input a website and it could reference it. It hasn't been doing that recently. You can upload a picture and it can reference it, but it's not necessarily the same thing. So you'll see certain features go in and out a little bit as well. It's usually more working off the prompts that you're feeding it specifically.
All right. And what about, let's say, any XYZ website is coming up on top of Google search results. So if I want to reverse engineer their tags or their whatever search and quotations they have applied at the back end, all right. So can we do that using AI or not?
Yes, so you can do that. It's going to take a little bit of time and the right prompts, but ultimately, yeah, it's going to give you recommendations on what to put in there. Again, it's not going to be up to date for the last year. So just keep that in mind. But it can definitely give you recommendations on what to do and what to put in to, like, it'll come up with strategies and it will come up with some specifics for you as well.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Any other questions? You could unmute yourself if anybody has any questions, unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank you so much, Gio, for having us present.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I'm gonna try. I've never used it before, truthfully, and I'm gonna try to try it out and see how it could help my business. But yeah, it's definitely interesting and also scary, but it's pretty wild. But thank you, Jennifer and Jamie, for doing this for us today. I really appreciate it. Any last questions before we log off? Okay.
Jennifer, I just wanted to say thank you, because when you can see it in live action and how it works, it helps you. Because I've pulled it up before. A friend of mine told me about it, but it's like I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But to see how it actually performs and what input you need to bring to the table to get what you want, I mean, it just changed my whole world.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
good.
what's wild is when I just saw you just put in like a couple of sentences and then what pops out of it is pretty crazy, honestly. It's like,
Yeah. Because
Like,
I kind of consider myself a decent writer, but I actually pulled it up in the App Store while you were talking
Yeah.
and was writing what you were writing, and it wrote a really nice listing
There
description.
you go.
And I was like, hey, he's even better than me.
That's great.
Thank you
That's
very
great.
much. Great information. We really appreciate it.
My
Yeah, thank you.
pleasure.
Thanks
My
everybody who
pleasure.
logged in. But I once again, thank you guys, everyone who logged in today. As I said, Thursday we're doing a class on 1031 exchanges. So hopefully you can log in for that. And once again, I mentioned we're doing this Pies and Prosecco giveaway next Tuesday. My email is Giovanni@Supreme Closing. Shoot me an email if you want to stop by and pick up your pies, pick up your Prosecco. And then Wednesday we're doing a $1,000 cash raffle. So if you're a member of my training program at asktherealestateattorney.com, you're automatically eligible for the raffle. We're going to do it live on Instagram. I believe probably like 11 a.m. on Wednesday. So, it'll be a nice little gift for the holidays. And yeah, any other questions before we log off?
No, thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank you guys
much
for logging
again.
on. Good seeing. I see
Have
a
a
lot of
great
people.
day.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You.